The funding started in 2010 and has provided almost £220 million over the 5-year period and has made some quite amazing differences to individuals' lives. There were two investment areas that we were looking at. One was around supporting 21st century life, which looked at supporting social development in disadvantaged children and young people, supporting families with children, looking at maintaining independence in older age, and supporting people living in their communities. And the second area was life transitions, and this was aimed at helping a range of vulnerable people to cope with certain transitions in life. That might be, for example, getting the skills and confidence to take up a job for the first time if they've been disengaged from work, help in overcoming issues such as homelessness, addictions problems, and other issues that prevent them from engaging fully in life. And the Big Lottery Fund wanted us to look at to what extent those investment areas reflected their current themes, which were people-led, strengths-based and connected. They also wanted to look at how using stories to see the impact of the investments that they're making would perhaps be a better way of showing the value of these investments as opposed to the traditional approaches to evaluation, with written reports and looking at numbers and outcomes and outputs and so on. Well, we've used stories in the past as part of kind of wider methodologies to put a bit of colour, insight, depth into some of the outcomes that we're trying to evidence or demonstrate. What we wanted to do with this approach was to take that one stage further and to work with projects themselves and hopefully the people that projects work with. So give them some of the skills to structure stories, what makes a good story, how to communicate the stories that would help them be able to demonstrate their impacts and be able to go and gather stories for themselves. Well, the people-led element was really demonstrated by the whole approach. Without people from the projects, volunteers and staff and the people they work with, we wouldn't have been able to use this approach. So it was very much about co-producing materials with people. In terms of the impacts from the stories that we told, there were several projects who had clearly demonstrated that they were directly involving or responding to the needs of the people that they worked with. For example, street youth who'd gone out and seen what people needed and asked what people needed out in the streets in Edinburgh and Leith. Other examples were involving young people in governance. Amy from The Usual Place came from a background of being a vulnerable young person herself and who had benefited from support and improved confidence and then gone on to take an active role in governing the organisation.
So my role is the Chair of Board of Directors. A lot of people may ask, why do you have a young person as your Chair of Board of Directors? Well, it's simple. Our organisation is about young people. So therefore you need to have the head of the organisation as a young person. And a lot of what my role here is to shout out about The Usual Place, to look, yes, we're in Dumfries and Galloway, yes, we're in Dumfries, we're a forgotten part of Scotland, but look at what we're doing. But also proving all those people wrong who dealt with me throughout my life. Look, I am going to achieve something, I am going to do something with the help and support of everyone here.
We've got a lot of useful evidence of the impact, particularly in consulting with and involving people in designing services and also delivering services. What that leads to is really giving people a sense of ownership from the outset, building up trust that what is going to be delivered is going to be reflecting and meeting their needs. They have buy-in and they have engagement, and because of that they're more likely to sustain involvement and continue improving the quality of services. What our stories have really shown us around the impact of strength-based approaches is they tend to listen to people, they move at the pace that people are happy with, they take their time, they understand the barriers and the positions that people are feeling, and because of that they build the confidence up where they can then develop more harder edge skills, vocational skills, and get people in a place where they're much more confident.
I remember Heather and Bill had sat me on a table just behind me here. They were not angry at me for being late, for my situation or anything. No one judged me for how I was functioning that day. A few weeks ago, I was the first person to get an SVQ qualification in food and hospitality. It was a proud moment. Walking through that door that morning and putting down the certificate, put it on the table, and I'm just like, there it is. I was beaming with pride. It made me think how far I've actually come.
And it's often about these softer skills, building confidence, self-esteem, that allow people then to use their strength to overcome the barriers that they face.
At the start I was a bit guarded. I did not know what I wanted to do. I didn't think I was good at anything. I was adamant I wasn't good at anything. I used to cry constantly. I just didn't have a thought to the future, because I'm not good at anything. What am I going to get a career as? My little boy's not going to be proud of me. I joined Rathbone and everything changed. I got so much confidence from Rathbone. My self-esteem shot way up. It's like a domino effect. It changed my family's life. My mum, my gran, all my family weren't worried about me anymore.
Other impacts really that have been shown through the strength-based approaches are really around relationship building. There's a lot of examples that we've collected about befriending projects particularly. There's a kind of win-win situation where the actual befriender and the person benefiting from the services are both getting something out of that relationship, and it's through that relationship really that again people can build confidence, get their cognitive skills working again, and kind of start re-engaging with the wider community.
Pamela and I would just chat the way women chat, you know, about what's getting set up at the tune and what's in the charity shops, and anybody at all come in or talk to me, even though it's a lot of rubbish, I talk to them. Oh, I like a blether. Tell me the woman that doesn't like a blether.
Well, I'm a people person, and the fact that maybe one day I could be that person sitting relying on a visitor, because there's probably lots and lots of people without, and I don't suppose there's enough people know about befriending, to be honest. And I look forward to coming and seeing you on a Friday, because you make my week. You make me feel good coming to see you.
And another way in terms of relationships is around the peer support networks that have been developed in a range of the stories which we looked at, where people can network with, support, understand and just talk to and socialise with people who have faced the same barriers or are facing the same barriers or have come from similar backgrounds to them.
It has changed over the years, because at the start it was really the peer-to-peer one, which is just me and my youth advisor Pete, who we just meet up every month or two and just kind of chat and go over how things are going. If I need anything else, I can ask for it. Now, the main reason is the support aspect, the group work, the going away on camps, going away on residentials, meeting people who also know what's going on and know about it. They know what situation I'm in. At the moment, I'm thinking about whether I'm going to go for a master's or a PhD degree. I'm just like, would I rather spend an extra 4 years or however long it is in university studying, or would I rather travel the world? Because I want to travel the world at some point. It's like, will I have enough time? You never know what's going to come around the corner next. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take. My dad might eventually end up in a wheelchair. I need to be able to talk to someone about that. If I need any extra support, it's just having it there with that I can just send a quick message on Facebook or whatever. So invaluable and amazing.
There's also some useful examples of where people benefiting from services have actually gone on to help deliver services as volunteers largely, and staying involved with the projects after their own interventions have finished.
I'm not in Rathbone anymore. They've gave me all the tools. It's now your turn to put them into action. If that's college, if that's volunteering, getting a job, they put all the things in place for you to do it by yourself, and they'll always be there for you. I know I'm going to come here to fill out my application for college. I'm going to start doing my volunteering. It's just magic.
So in terms of the connectedness theme, our stories have shown that the projects that have been funded have looked to connect existing services and interventions that are already in the community and make sure that instead of duplicating what's being done, they're actually filling gaps. They're signposting people, working with existing organisations and services to make sure that people know what's out there and to connect people to these services. So it's really about navigating people through what is often seen as quite a complex process where there's a lot of barriers and kind of hoops to jump through. And a lot of the services and the people that we spoke to in projects are helping people to navigate that and signpost them to relevant services, and therefore strengthening those services and making sure that those services are reaching the types of people that are perhaps missing out currently.
Our minds were just in the right mindset type thing, so stepping stones like come in and help get a routine restored and
help and
advice.
Something to other companies and everything as well. Well, before we had them, our son was in the process of getting diagnosed with autism. But because we were homeless, it sort of totally broke off. So when we got the house and we got stepping stones, they then reached out to the other companies to say, right, look, it had been part tested, but it's all stopped. So now we've actually got the diagnosis of our son having autism, and they've then put a buddy in place for him so that he goes every 2 weeks out with a buddy.
So our evaluation of the Investing in Communities programme has involved looking at the two strands, which delivered almost £220 million of investment starting in 2010, particularly looking at some of the transitions from vulnerable young people to engaging in employment, overcoming barriers, homelessness, addictions, mental health issues, allowing them to engage in mainstream activities in wider life. We've looked at supporting families and social development of young people through parenting skills, some major changes to how people's relationships have been strengthened and improved, and ultimately brought about stronger communities right across Scotland.
I just wanted to fast forward my life because I'm not good at anything. What am I going to get a career as? My little boy's not going to be proud of me. I joined Rathbone and everything changed.
At my age, I do not too bad, I think. I'm a damn nuisance, I can tell you.
I got diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. I do things a bit differently. I need maybe extra help there, here and there. That's okay. I'm a human being, and that's fun.